Welcome back. For those that don't know what you're looking at, this is my home theater computer with the Gigabyte B450M motherboard and a Ryzen 3 2200G, I believe is what's in there. Might be a 3200G, but I'm pretty sure it's a 2200G, just because that's what was cheap at the time. 8 gigs of RAM, and this Corsair VS650 power supply that I got from a warranty exchange and had a huge rant about on my channel that apparently is a sore point with a lot of people because they don't really understand the point of why I made that video. But anyway, that is actually what's going to be coming out. I have another power supply that will be installed, and I also have something else. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Here's the new hardware. This is for another project, and same deal with this. This is for another project. I'm not dealing with those. That's an Intel cooler, so that doesn't even work anyway. But here's the power supply that we'll be installing. It is a lot smaller at 400 watts, but it's also a lot more, meant for that system than a 650 is. 650 is kind of overkill. So this is what you get. Looks like you get 3 serial ATA, which is good enough for me. I don't need any more than that. You get what looks like two, what do you call those things? Molex connectors. Again, that's all that I really need. I actually need exactly 2, so that's good. Don't need PCI Express. We do need the CPU and the motherboard, of course. There you can see some specs. You can pause the video if you'd like to read that. It's still 80 plus certified, and all of that is still effective. So basically, the reason for this is because I can use that 650 in another project, and what I actually was going to buy and what I had searched for was a DDR3 memory kit for another project. Well, for whatever reason, they gave me this DDR4 kit, which was really cheap, one of the cheapest options. So I picked it up. Come to find out that it's, DDR4. Oops. So I guess it's getting a 16 gigabyte RAM upgrade. So here it is unpackaged. Comes with, of course, power cord that I don't need. I think this was in the box as well. Yeah, power supply manual. Don't need that. And there's some screws. I won't need those. I've already got screws. I'm going to just use the existing ones in the system. And we can get this power supply out, hopefully, of its little foam protective thing. So here is the power supply itself. You can see the ratings for the various rails. If you'd like to pause the video and read any of those, you can certainly do so. It does have active power factor correction, and of course it's got 80 plus ratings, which is very important. It's actually fairly heavy for being only a 400 watt power supply, but I'm sure that it's not using the world's best capacitors just because this is like a $30 power supply. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this cable tie, and I will get this installed in the system. Alright, so I got yelled at the last time I made a video like this. You didn't install a power supply. I don't know what more you want. I put a power supply in the computer, but to curb this complaint, we're going to go ahead and do this. So I've wasted valuable workspace by installing a tripod so you can actually maybe see what I'm doing. Probably not. Probably not at all, in fact. So I've gone ahead and unplugged all the cabling. So that's been done. And now I get to do the incredibly fun thing of going back here. You're probably not even going to be able to see anything anyway because of my big fat arm. So, you get what you get. I'm not giving you anything better. I could go ahead and use the proper screws, although I thought that these were black screws. I don't know if they are or not. I guess I'm going to find out. No, they're silver. Well, I guess it really doesn't ultimately matter. This is really difficult to do. It'd be a lot easier if I had more room, but I don't because this stupid tripod is in my frickin' way. Alright. Is it out yet? It should be. So now I should be able, when I get the feeling back in my... get this out of the way. Which is for whatever reason dangled around the power supply. So here is the old power supply, which is tied into everything apparently. Get out of there. VS650. You know, I almost wonder if this gigabyte power supply is actually a Corsair. The design just kind of screams Corsair to me. Sort of. No, maybe not. But I just thought that the sticker on the side kind of screamed Corsair, but maybe it doesn't. I forgot to take that cable tie off. Somebody's probably going to get on my case. Cable management. I don't care. The case has got more than adequate cable management with what I'm doing to it. So, here. We'll put this power supply in somehow or another. I hope that's not going to bleed everywhere. It shouldn't. Alright. Put it in. Now, here we go. Trying to install screws without getting in the way of the camera. I can't see anything. I don't know if that's where that's supposed to go. Oh, it is now. It fits in, so you know what? Good enough. Oh, yep, that's bleeding everywhere. Tell you what, it's not computer work unless you donate blood to something. That wasn't even this project either. That was something completely different. Whatever. Stop. That's gonna be a pain. Oh dear, where's this one? Come on. Take your screwdriver. We'll at least somewhat tighten them for at least the time being. Oh, I don't even know if I can do that one because I've put this on an angle. I don't care what you see, because you know what? You're the one that wants people complain. You want an installation video, so I'll give you a freaking installation video. This is the best you're going to get out of me. This isn't my strong suit. Come on, you piece of junk. I don't have bench space to work with right now because I've got about 4 billion things that I'm working on. Come on, what are you doing? Get in the screw so I can tighten the screw. You know, if I had camera glasses, I do have camera glasses. Maybe I should have used those to do this. Anyway, so power supply is screwed in the case. I don't know if I'm going to even keep any of that in the video because it's probably not even worth it. This is our peripheral connector. So I want you to be untangled from all this other crap. I can throw it in here, because this is where it needs to go. These are the only things that need to be in here, and so they are the only things that will be in here. I only really need one, because this one has a little thing on the end of it, but I don't bother using those. Because if one connector breaks, you know, then what? You lose both things, as opposed to just one of them. So that's installed. Now the fun begins, because now this stupid tripod being stupid, that's the best I can do. So now I get to plug these in. I do not need a PCI Express. I need a SATA, and there's only one of them anyway. So here's what we're going to do. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Probably not. I don't think it really matters because... Okay, we'll pull that off for a minute. And then we'll install this connector, which thank God is not backwards. I hate it when power supplies do that. This one's backwards. So, okay, fine. We'll just use this one then. Plug that in. Find the right angle plug that I just unplugged. Put that in. Done. So now this could go back in, but I'm going to leave it out for a minute because I need to plug in the CPU power connector, which will be the first one that I do. Don't know if you can see it. Don't particularly care, but that's neither here nor there. Hope I didn't just break it apart. Come on. Come on. There's only one way for this to go in. That's the way I'm doing it, so. Now, motherboard. Watch this break apart while I'm trying to thread the frickin' wire. So, cable management. Doesn't need to be done any further than that. That is perfect cable management. The only cables that are going anywhere are the ones that need to go where they're going. Battery on this camera is about to die, so I will go ahead and change it. And alright, so now the last step is to reinstall the cage, which is usually kind of a pain to do because it likes to make my life difficult, but it looks like it actually went into place. So, and then I gotta reroute this cable, which I derouted in order to do all this cable management stuff. So we'll put that back in there. I don't even know what it is. It's just like, looks like a USB header, but it goes to a bunch of LEDs on the back, and I'm really not sure what that's for. And I don't want to risk burning up a USB port just in the name of having some LEDs. So, I don't know if this is powered on or not. I forgot to look before I installed the power supply, doggone it. So now I gotta come back here and inspect, just see whether or not it's on, which it's not. So I'm gonna plug it in if I can. Plugs in that way. Oh! Alright. So next step is to install our RAM, which we will do on camera because people complain that I don't show things on camera. So I'm going to show you a power supply installation. Let's show you a RAM installation too. And you can all go ahead and tell me that I'm doing it wrong because it's just like Linux videos. You know? It's not a how-to. People will say it's a how-to anyway. I didn't learn how to upgrade my RAM from this video. Well, we weren't supposed to because it's not a how-to video anyway. I can actually cut this open. Corsair LPX. We only have 2 slots. I think it's exactly the same memory that I already have installed, so that's a bonus. So there shouldn't be any issue with this. Should be able to just go ahead and take this and install it. And which way does it go? Probably the same way. So we'll flip these out. And we will go ahead and install these memory modules. Yes, it is the same way as the others. You should hear it click when it's in place. Install the other one. And do, just like that. Sometimes they can be a little difficult. Now, next step is testing. Okay, so there's the machine, all ready to go. So before I put the cover on, we are going to put the power on and see what happens. If anything. It shouldn't, it's not configured for automatic power on or anything like that. So what I should have to do is go hit the switch, and then it will power up. Just like that, with the very Canadian fans. We'll see if it posts. So far it has not. Oh, fan just turned off and turned back on. Fan turned off and turned back on again. So I'm starting to really wonder if this is going to work. I almost wonder if maybe this is one of those machines all I've done is change the power supply of the RAM, so I don't understand why it's not working. It's really kind of stupid. Ugh. I hate HDMI. Everything is working, and probably was working just fine. But because HDMI, it wasn't showing up on the screen. I don't know what's wrong with this crap and why everybody thinks it's so great. DisplayPort is a much better standard. It actually has locks on the freaking connector. Anyway, so the 16 gig RAM upgrade is done. I've now got to plug my drives back in because I unplugged those thinking that maybe that's causing some issue, which it wasn't. Okay, in fairness, maybe I should have realized something was up when it was saying check signal cable as opposed to no signal, but that isn't the point. That should never have happened. If HDMI had a locking connector like it should, then it wouldn't have been an issue. Anyway. Wow, that's ridiculous. So today we have learned that when your BIOS turns on CSM support without any intervention, it breaks the whole machine. It no longer sees any boot devices. As if that's a valid reaction to anything. So the machine's on, and it seems to be working. So now I could put it away and make sure that everything is working, and it should hopefully stay that way. Okay, it's back, and it didn't even die in the intervening moments. Still working. Wow, apparently image stabilization is not a thing, but you can see, maybe, that we don't actually get a full 16 gigs. It's using 2 gigs for the Vega graphics that it's already got, which, by the way, to all of the people who keep saying that I need to put a video card in this machine, the Vega graphics is more than good enough to watch videos on YouTube at native resolution. I mean, hell, I was able to get them to work on a Pentium 4. So, you know, you don't need a super beefy, expensive video card just for that. And sometimes, most of the time, it's not even YouTube. It's just my going to a file server and grabbing a video file. This thing can play 4K. Not at native res, this is a 1080p TV, but, you know, it can do it. It can do all that kind of stuff. So, no, don't need big expensive video card. And that is going to do it for the video. I don't have anything else to really share with you, so thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. There's our little upgrade. Could have gone with a lot less swearing if things worked the way they were supposed to. This is CP666 signing off. Hope to see you next time. Till then.